Good morning. This is Dr. Mia Luth. It is August 19th, Wednesday, August 19th, 2026, approximately 9 a.m. Eastern Time, USA, New York. So this one is mostly hockey, but I am going to start out with a quick health update. I put all my health updates here now, just makes it easier for me. And, right, easier for me is easier for me. So, right, I handed all that off to God. I don't care anymore. The fake celebrities, the romance scammers, all that crap been going on having to do with my ex account at Cruise Singer. Okay? But X.com needs to realize I didn't break any laws in the United States of America, and I will, quite literally, make it a point to live long enough to see you and your company go to the Supreme Court, and you will lose. Just pass that on to the executives there. But as for my health, I do use a biologic, and because of that, I'm more prone to viral infections, so I have to be even more careful. I'm getting over a cold. So I don't get little colds, I get big colds. But yes, antibiotics are not meant for that, by the way. But I'm getting over it, and I should be okay for my hip surgery. I'm getting a brand new hip, and I'm a little nervous about it because I'm a little more high risk for certain surgery things. I did look at my labs, my blood labs and my urine, so I'm clear of any urinary infection. This is good. All my normal things. I'm a little on the high range for a couple things, but that makes sense for someone who has been fighting a cold. So that's good. The only issue is my potassium, which is known. I had to track that, hyperkalemia, and that happens because I take meloxicam, or Mobic is also a name for it. So that just comes with territory, which means I have to limit potassium in my regular diet, which is crappy because I love foods that have potassium, like bananas and spinach, and yes, and they're like tomatoes, which are fruits, by the way. But one of the things is I have an albuterol puffer, and I can get allergy-related asthma, so that's just for that. But I also, when I know that my potassium is a little high, I use my puffer at least 2 puffs twice a day, because that does help lower potassium, believe it or not. There's not much else I can do in that way. So I could have a cardiac event. So I am higher risk for surgery, but it's scheduled, it's planned. Had the physical therapist in, kind of know what's going to happen. He's also going to make sure that my hips are level and that both of my legs are the same length, which will help me too, because issues with sciatica and other types of things are right because one leg's a little tall, or taller than the other, and so that's also going to help. So I'm actually looking forward to getting that done, because while I'm recuperating and while I'm doing other things, yes, I can be gearing up for the NHL, National Hockey League, hockey season coming up. So I'm gearing up already. Like I said, I went and looked for hair dye. Haven't dyed my hair in a long time. that matches the color of the Winnipeg Jets home blue colors. And the closest I could find was midnight blue, but I am going to be able to get those next month, and so I'm going to have Winnipeg Jets color hair. And so any of the Flyers fans, because I live in Northeast Maryland, and I'm very close to the Flyers. It's only 45 minutes away. So occasionally those are the games that get blacked out for me, because I'm close enough that they'll get blacked out. But like I said, the way things are with me, there are hardly any ice hockey fans around me. So even if it's the Broad Street Bully, I'm still like, well, at least you're a hockey fan. You want to talk about hockey? You know what I mean? How the Flyers doing? Right? Because there aren't a lot of hockey fans. So, I mean, but when the hockey season, we might, chirp each other a little more. But that's just hockey, a little chirping, no big deal. They know it's all just hockey stuff, not personal stuff or anything. But yes, this year I'm excited that I will have accomplished a lot when it comes to this, and I've gotten control of managing some of my more difficult symptoms, and I have a better living situation. So I also have use now, it's not mine, but I have use of a 42-inch big screen TV that I can watch ESPN on. And for those who don't know, the ESPN Unlimited Package Plus is the one I'm interested in. I can watch almost all of the Winnipeg Jets hockey games. So for my Canadian friends, and I know I'm not the only one, there's others who don't live in even Canada. I mean, there's other Jets fans. There's, I think, one in Brazil, there's a few in California. We're spread out. So I'm the Maryland annex. I'm the Maryland president of the Winnipeg Jets fan club over here. So I am getting ready to gear up, and I usually do that around the beginning of September, because that's when, certain things start happening, and prizes, blah, 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 and then the preseason games happen toward the end of September and up the beginning of October. But I will be able to actually watch most of the Jets games, except for the ones I'm blacked out, and except for the ones that are on the NHL network. They're not on ESPN. So there's a few games throughout the season, but I do have the radio, and it's internet radio. So I do that because in the U.S. I'll start with CJOB, so I can listen to the games on CJOB on my radio player. So I'm getting to the point where it's just like, okay, the reward for getting through my surgery and doing all this other stuff and having to deal with it is right, hockey season. I got something to look forward to. Okay, some people may not realize it, but I don't have a lot to look forward to. Okay, my children are deceased, my parents are deceased, my siblings are deceased, my grandparents are deceased, all my aunts and uncles are deceased, and two of my best friends deceased. So hockey means way more to me than people could really understand. So I am actually going to dye my hair Winnipeg Jets blue. So I'll be walking around blue hair, just to get into the spirit of the thing. And the one thing I can do is I do hit the hype button. I watch all their media, like all the things that come out from Winnipeg Jets, and some of it's from the NHL, and some of it's from some of the bloggers and the press. Without X.com, I can't really keep as much in contact, which, I mean, it's basically unacceptable. I'm not too thrilled about it. I have this feeling I might know why, but for now, it's just, okay, X.com, but excuse me. I'm the original Cree singer, like, on X.com. And I miss talking to some Jets people and some other hockey people and some music people, and I was promoting music and I was promoting ice hockey, and I wasn't doing anything wrong. Okay, I have a feeling I might know why that's happening. Regardless, for now, I still have this channel and I watch. So I am starting to make a list on my channel, one of the playlists, going back and forth and putting everything that I can find that came out from the Winnipeg Jets and maybe a few other places into that playlist. Because I'm re-watching old interviews and doing things like that. So that's one of the things I'm doing to kind of get myself sort of started in season and trying to get into a rhythm with the Jets schedule. So there's a lot I could say, but what I'm going to say is it's just like, okay, Jets fans, for crying out loud. Some of you, like, okay, I don't know if it's a Canadian thing. I'm trying to listen to every kind of perspective I can get, and it's just like, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm just, this may be, maybe the reason why Canadian teams have not been able to win a Stanley Cup for the past several decades is because you're all trying to lose on purpose for some stupid reason. I mean, that can't be what it is, but it's got nothing to do with the future. I hope that's not why. You understand? I mean, if that's why, well, then you deserve not to win the Stanley Cup. Okay? Point blank. Well, what? Stop drinking so much. And, I know it's not criminalized, what I'm trying to say? Like, keep yourselves a little more sober-minded. And let me remind all of you, okay? Last season, the Canucks came in last place. And they did not get first overall pick. The Jets, however, did get in the top 10. And ChatGPT was wrong, by the way. Let's all get this straight. AI is often wrong. Do not rely on it. Well, that makes you not so smart. Let's make you a little smarter. Okay? The Colorado Avalanche did not win the Stanley Cup. All right, anyway, so we got some sign, and here's the thing, I'm just like, excuse me, you need to leave Kyle effing Connor alone, people. If you're actual Jets fans, just keep it to yourselves, man. He's only 30. Give the kids a chance. Yeah, well, if they're still kids and they're not ready, then, and then when the coach did give kids a chance, you guys were all pissed off. How come he didn't make that one do it? How come he didn't? Okay? I have a right also to express myself. And I do that on the check-ins, and I do that on Winnipeg Sports Talk, which I appreciate. From Winnipeg Sports Talk, though, I've learned, like during the weekdays with Huss and Remo, I have been learning a little bit here and there about the Canadian Football League. Because I learn about other sports, but I do that slowly but surely. Because my priority sport, obviously, ice hockey, and specifically National Hockey League, which also includes AHL and ECHL. It's kind of a package deal these days. Right. People should be looking to making sure that every NHL club has its own AHL farm team, which helps the ECHL grow. Okay, come on. Use your heads. You're up here, fellas and ladies. Well, the other thing is that what I'm putting out there for Jets people is that I've been studying the National Hockey League itself. Okay, some of the fans and people in and around Winnipeg, you guys may not have been hockey fans before, or maybe you were Moose fans. That's fine, but you have only really, a lot of you have only been really doing it for like 15, 16 years. I study the entirety of the NHL, okay, but I'm very franchise loyal, you understand? And I've been studying the National Hockey League for 45 years, because I'm 54 years old. So maybe there were some people more willing to actually like let me say my piece and sort of let me say some things, right? Okay, because I do understand. Now here's what I'm going to say. If anybody from the Winnipeg Jets sees this, if you're looking for a couple of clubs to kind of like what kind of, social media, other kind of stuff, okay, are good examples and kind of things that fans like. We check out the New Jersey Devils and the Tampa Bay Lightning for some of the things, the X accounts, okay, because some of the fan accounts, like Bolts Prospects, was very, like, there was a lot of information and a lot of involved fans who, knew a good bit about ice hockey, and some of the educational stuff and some of the way that the New Jersey Devils have just been, for a long time, its foundation, right, even without Lou Lamoriello and without, right, it's still kind of there. So there's like hockey school stuff for fans who want to learn more about ice hockey, because we can't assume when I say I call Briere stinky cheese, there's some people like, who? Yeah, Daniel Briere used to be a player, is now GM. He's the big man on campus over here in Broad Street, bully territory. So outrage, hey, people, right? Hi, stinky cheese. Outreach in Elton, Maryland. There's a few fans roaming around, and like I said, I'm just like happy to see an ice hockey fan. But I'm used to this. I grew up barely talking to anyone about ice hockey because there wasn't anybody to talk about ice hockey with. So I am a little more in the know than some of you, and I disagree with certain perspectives, and maybe you're trying to get views, or maybe their channels are monetized or whatever. Me, that's not why I do it. This never gets monetized. This is a multi-purpose channel, but I am saying is that there are a lot of things, especially some intangibles that I know about, that it seems like quite a few, including some of the press and broadcast media, don't know So I'm not trying to be argumentative, nor am I ever trying to be, personal with people. Okay, you understand? I mean, that's my real name, my real face. I'm not hiding from anybody. I'm telling you. I just know more than a lot of other people on the planet about the National Hockey League. And, you can ask around. There's a few who know me. But again, okay, I'm a friendly Canada. Okay, don't. Okay, and I get it. There's different levels and ages of understanding. So one of the things that Murat, and people can look up and see who Murat is, said at the end of the season or somewhere toward the end of the season or right after the end of the season is he didn't really see how, the Jets are going to become a Stanley Cup contender. And I'm just like, yeah, they already are. Okay? But what I want some, tried and true, okay, Winnipeg Jets fans to understand is, well, I can see it, Murat, and I was right about the Washington Capitals, and I was right about Tampa Bay, and I was right about the Florida Panthers. Okay, so everybody, just take a deep breath, kind of let some things go. Okay, try and formulate your own thoughts. Okay, don't just repeat. All right. Now, I don't agree with anybody who's trying to say Cheveldayoff is just word salad. That's just you not listening to Cheveldayoff. All right. So I disagree with you guys. Cheveldayoff was very clear. Now, like I said, last season was a particularly unique season because one, Laos didn't start the season, so team captain didn't start the season, and it was an Olympic year, and I don't care, like anybody who tries to tell me that the Olympics don't mess with the NHL season, you're just okay, you can't seriously come at me in any kind of serious for that. They're better than you think. Okay? And if Perfetti puts a little time in, he had lots of space and time last season around the net, which is good. Work on your backhand. Work on the backhand. And if Perfetti can work on backhand shots, okay, like in front of the net, especially from a pass, that's how you freeze a goalie. Oh, ancient goalie secret. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, is that, I can't go out on ice, and there's things I can't do, but, number one, I get the goalies back. I understand when some goalies have bad days too, man. Don't anybody be thinking that everybody's playing at their A-plus game, because especially after January and more dings and all this other kind of stuff, okay? It's a grind, yeah, right? So just understand that. Sometimes numbers do lie, and sometimes you're not seeing perspectives that you should. So maybe you guys need to stop with the hockey cliches and see what it is in real time. Have a little more faith in your hockey team, and your life will improve a little. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Perfetti got time and space in front of the net last season. if he works on his backhand, especially, right, backhand shots off a pass, that is one sure way to freeze a goalie. And I'm going to encourage the skaters, even though I'm the third goalie out here, I'm going to encourage the skaters to score. And that is one surefire way to freeze a goalie. Right? Or they have to commit in the other direction, one way or the other. Yes, those often go in, even if they're not exactly a shot sometimes. And the other thing is, if they really seem to be passing a lot and they're not taking shots, somebody needs to have the courage to just start taking crap shots. Right? Somebody have the courage to just start taking crap shots, because that puts pressure on the goalie. That starts putting pressure on the defense. Right? And at some point, you may be taking, I call them good shots and crap shots. I guess nowadays they call them A shots and B shots. Sometimes somebody's got to have the courage to do that. Now, had they done that a little more often in October, November, and December of last year, they would have been in the playoffs. There were only a few little things. You're all just angry people. I mean, I don't know. I'm saying I've seen histories of teams, and I pay attention, and trust me, I would know more if I could use my X.com account. Well, I'm not really going to shut up about it, because they know it was hacked. Well, I think I know, right? But that individual needs to understand it's okay. You need to communicate with me immediately. All right, you know what my email is. Certain sing email, probably. All right, anyway, yes, husband. Big hint, husband. Anyway, barring that, right, I can also look all over the internet and other kind of things, and I try and read everything I can, and I try and get ready. So sometimes health-wise, it's a tougher day than others, and depending on what my blood levels are like or whatever. But I really enjoy check-in every day. That's fun. We have to figure out, like, last year we did soup. Like, maybe we should, like, soup and sandwich. Like, what kind of sandwich do you like? Yeah, like, what, that'd be fun. Anyway, and some, I know, some are just being humorous, and it's a little harder to tell in text, and, some of you know each other way more. So I was kind of an air quote newbie, but I wasn't really a newbie. And I appreciate the fact that some of the NHL Winnipeg Jets fans are actually following me here. I've seen some of you recently, so thank you. I try and put in the title if it has something to do with ice hockey, so you know what to skip or whatever. But it's more promising than some of you. Okay, this is true. All right. So I am looking forward to just getting my hip done and recuperating and being ready, because this is the first time ever in my life that I will be able to watch NHL on a 42-inch screen most of the games, you understand? And yeah, so I kind of have to be indoors and done with my day by like 12:30, 1 o'clock anyway, my time, which is I'm an hour ahead. Now I got that all figured out. Like, I can, yes, the time difference. And I love Kenny and Rennie. My thing with Kenny and Rennie is during the regular season, those sometimes they're like a full hour after, right? So I'm not always awake. Sometimes I'm having sleep, but I try to, like, I spend a lot of time in my day, and I like the Sunday Winnipeg Sports Talk with Liz and Connor. just it's like interesting to see how people are like with trending up, trending down, trying to like one burning question, right? So I mean that one, like I think it's for them it's at 9 a.m. Is it? Yeah, for me I think it's 10. So I get a little break on the timing, but I mean, there's Goldie, friends, student, Chicona, right? I know, I'm like Phyllis. I'm like, it's only the goalies I might get a little particular about, right? Because there's just some things I know and understand about that position, and I've been listening to NHL goalies the entirety of my life mostly, so and watching and learning. So, go Jets, go, and I will have my new hip. And as soon as I recover from that, we'll decide whether I get my knee done or my shoulder, but I have a feeling it's going to be my shoulder. So I'm looking at a hard road. And what some of the people need to understand is like the hockey lifts my spirits. I'm like, I love ice hockey. I love it to the point where like I'll lose sleep and I'll forget to eat. And I get in the zone. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot to snap me back out of it anymore. But anyway, like I'm a friendly go Jets go, okay? But believe me, even though I'm third goalie back here, I'm like, no, it's like seventh player, all right? So seventh player, sometimes the players look at it as the boards, but sometimes seventh players are like the fans, right? But I'm like a third goalie and fifth coach. Like, okay, here's how you freeze a goalie, everybody, right? Like, surefire way to freeze a goalie, you know what I'm saying? So, yay, come on, October. May we, every single last one of us, make it to October and beyond, all right? Yeah, take care, everybody.